So you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's like single motherhood is so much freaking responsibility. Meanwhile, healing from trauma, from divorce or breakup. And all we do is we carry this huge weight of responsibility and it's exhausting and you're exhausted and you're like, how do I make it stop? This podcast is going to help you put that weight down. It's the best thing you need to do. I'm so glad you're here, brave single moms.
It reminds me of this quote or Jaco. Do you know who Jaco is? Okay, so
Maybe?
he's like an inspirational speaker, military guy. He does
Okay.
some really big like inspirational stuff.
Okay.
Maybe you've heard of him. But he's one of the things that he says, and I thought about this a lot through my journey, was when something goes wrong, good. Right? So like I lost my job. Good. I'm so stressed out. Good. I failed the lift. Good. Whatever it is in your life that goes wrong, we say good, because what does that mean? When you lost your job, it means you get to chase your dreams. A new opportunity. When you're stressed out, it means you get to practice the skills that are going to help you manage that. When whatever you're going through that's hard is going to help you create more resiliency. And so that's what this carrying the weight of the world. Single motherhood is stressful and hard. Oh. Heck yeah. Good. Because it's gonna make you better.
But Sarah, most of us, and I know you and I did not say good when we first became a single mom. Like we did not say
no.
Absolutely not. So, but now in retrospect, we can say, hell yeah, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. So how do we communicate to you, brave single moms now? Maybe you're just starting your journey and you found this podcast or watching this YouTube channel. And, we talk to most single moms we talk to are freshly single. So what do you say to a mom there in that point where, and she's like you and I felt like, we're like, this is the death of me.
Yeah.
How do we communicate that, like, actually maybe girl, like this is the best thing.
Rebirth of you.
Because because it's kind of miserable, right?
It's easy to say, right? It's easy to say. And then even consciously, as you hear us say it, you're like, I know, but what I know and what I feel don't line up. And that's where the difficulty comes in. That's where we're carrying this weight around. This is what you feel versus what you know. And so what I'd say, and what I reminded myself through mine, and I think we've talked about this before, so is everything I've ever gone through, take single motherhood out of it, right? Okay. All the other things that I've gone through previously in my life, we've all had struggle, and every single one of you, there's not a single person out there without their own personal struggle. All the hard things you've been through, all the scary things you've been through, all these moments. Now that they're gone, now that they're over, now that you're through them and on the other side, for me, I know I can think of very few things, if any, that I look back on and think, I wish that never happened. And the reason I say that is because the path I've taken has taken me to who I am today. I'm pretty stoked with who I am today. And so I look at my past and I say, I am grateful for my struggle. I am grateful for every single piece of struggle I've been through, because it's allowed me the opportunity to build this resilient mindset that has allowed me to move forward and grow as a person. So here's the trick. What I do when I'm going through struggle is I remind myself, awareness is our superpower. So you just catch the little voice, the inner voice in your back of your mind, catch yourself in those moments. And I remind myself, Sarah, one day you are going to be so grateful for this. One day you're going to look back on this and you're going to see how it's helped you grow as a person and a mom and an individual, regardless what it is.
I'm into that.
So why can't we just find that gratitude today? And that's where the good comes in. Okay. So instead I'm going to be grateful for the struggle while I'm going through the struggle. You're going through struggle. Good. Be grateful.
I like it.
Easier said than done, for sure. But that's where the awareness being your superpower comes in. You kind of have to remind yourself of it a lot.
Well, and I think, we look back at this 10-pound weight and we look at it as this burden. You can. There's also another exact thing that you can look at this 10-pound weight. It also can make your biceps look really great. Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, that's hot, right? Or can you like get some, some, what am I talking about? The triceps, and you can like, you can shoulders, do all these great things with this heavier weight that you have to carry around. And it's just it's a decision that I wish I would have made a lot earlier in my single mom life, because I wished I would have seen that. Cause I remember I was stuck in an abusive relationship and I didn't have anything in me left to get out. And I felt so bad about myself all the time. And then if only I had seen him leaving as like, oh my God, I'm free. If only I had seen that. I wish I could go back and tell that girl, oh my God, girl, you're free. And I know it might feel a little soft, but if you can just flip this weight into something that you can start lifting to create an even better life, like, it's going to be grand.
Yeah.
I think that woman now, if she'd meet me, she'd be like, that's a cool, you know what?
Me too.
She'd be like, oh my God, you mean I get to change my life like that?
Yeah. I was just talking to one of our single moms over the phone yesterday, and I told her it's exactly what I said. I was like, if somebody would have shown me just a movie, a snapshot of what my life would look like in 11 years, if I just keep doing the good fight and showing up for myself and working on my personal development and setting goals and chasing them down and getting mentors and always doing something to grow and be better the next day. As long as I keep on that path, this is a movie of what your life will look like. A, I don't know that I would have fully believed it, but B, that's all the convincing I'd have needed. Like, okay, all right. So fairy godmother just showed me that that's going to be my life as long as I keep doing this thing. Okay, we're just, don't look at it as a one year at a time or 1 week at a time or 1 month at a time. It's literally just take it moment by moment. Okay. And every moment that you are making a decision, is that decision taking you closer to or further away from this positive, resilient mindset that's going to allow you to build a future for yourself?
Embrace the suck. That's what it's an old podcast. It was like season 2. If you want to go back, I'll link it up in this episode, with who's now a mentor of mine. I really look up to this woman. Her name is Corinne Hancock, and she travels around the country and teaches CEOs and founders and entrepreneurs about how to embrace chaos. Her handle on Instagram is Chaos Corinne. And she says how chaos can be. She teaches them how to prepare for chaos and handle chaos in their business. But she came on and did an episode about how, and she's also a single mom. And was a single mom and has been remarried for just like less than a year now. And she talks about how the big thing she tells CEOs is what single moms can learn is to embrace the suck. And like, the suck teaches you the best lessons in life.
Oh my gosh, so much.
So if you're looking, I think maybe that's the first tip. If you're trying to figure out, how do I flip the weight of single motherhood into something, instead of weighing me down, that makes me stronger? How do we do that? I think number 1 is to embrace the suck.
Great point. Because here's the thing. Okay, you go to and Amanda and I were talking about this just a few minutes ago. You go to Dick's Sporting Goods and you buy yourself this 10-pound weight. And here's the deal. No matter what, you can't put it down. Okay? This is single motherhood. It is heavy. It is hard. And you can choose to look at it that way. But no matter what, you're a mom. And you're a single mom and you love those babies so much and you want to be the best you can be for them. So what that means is you don't get to set this down ever. But you have a choice. You can walk around with it like this.
And be like,
super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And what were you saying? Sit down and watch TV. You got to hold it.
You get in the shower. You're going to take that thing and you're going to hang out in the shower. Like, you're cooking dinner. Remember, like when you'd have to like breastfeed a baby while cooking dinner, like that's what you're doing. Yeah.
Right.
Ugh.
And when you're holding it like that, when you're carrying it in that way, and this is the way of carrying it in the like focusing on how hard it is. When you're carrying it in this way, it's annoying and hard and struggle and it's easy to get lost in that. But then when you embrace it, when you decide this isn't the death of me, this is the rebirth of me. me and my kids are a team, and we get to build whatever we want.
Yes.
Because we can create whatever we want. And I don't know what the future is going to look like, but I know there's going to be nothing but love and happiness and joy and communication and amazing experiences. Peace. Oh my gosh, ladies, peace. You're not a single mom for nothing. You got peace.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can choose that, or you can say, okay, I'm going to embrace it. What happens when you embrace it is you start, instead of carrying it like this, you're like, okay, well, I'm embracing it, which means I'm going to carry it like this.
Freaking lunges.
Boom. I'm embracing it. I'm going to carry it like this. Cool. I'm embracing it. I'm going to carry it like this.
I'm going to get some bigger biceps and a better ass just by carrying this weight around.
And you know what? Like when you hold a 10-pound weight like this, it feels kind of weird. It isn't comfortable. But when you hold it the way that it's meant to be held.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets my arm. But when you hold it the way that it's meant to be held, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I mean, that's not so bad. There's like a handle on it. It's meant for holding, and you embrace it and you get stronger and it doesn't suck anymore. So now instead of focusing on how hard it is, you're focusing on like, I think I see a little, I think I see a little muscle here. This doesn't feel as heavy as it did last week. This is,
embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck of it. Because then I think, what I have become, I was basically a stay-at-home mom. I had like this little side gig to do a radio show when my ex-husband left me and my 3 kids. And then did I ever have dreams of becoming a nationally syndicated radio host speaking to 10 million people every week? No, I didn't. Did I do that after divorce because I set some goals? I put a date on each goal and I decided with everything in me to chase them down. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I had that idea because it was a must for me.
Yep.
Right now, what is you maybe you were many of us, and then there's no fault, and we trusted someone and you shared financial responsibility with that person. But now you can't, ladies, we cannot trust child support. You cannot live off child support. That can go at any moment.
Yeah.
So, and at any moment, instead, you're like, well, it is a must for me to have a career. Yeah. It is a must for me to figure this out.
Yeah.
Imagine what you can create. And you can create anything.
And when I have to find a career and I don't know. No, I get to. This is a must and I get to, and it gets to be exciting. It's like maybe you're in your 20s, maybe you're in your 30s, maybe you're in your 40s, who knows? Yeah. But it's like all of a sudden at this point in your adulthood, you get to decide what you want to be when you grow up. You guys, and it can be anything. Like when I got divorced, I had a crappy retail job. Not saying anything about having
a really crappy job.
And when I say crappy, I mean like I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. It wasn't fulfilling and I didn't make very much money. I certainly didn't make enough money to support the lifestyle that my ex-husband was leaving.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I have a photo of the first day of single motherhood and I took this selfie of me and my kids and I remember taking it and I said out loud, this is the first day of the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I had no idea what the rest of our lives was going to look like, but I knew it was the first day and we celebrate the first day of things. And and that was a celebration because it was the first day of my peace and the rest of our lives and the creation of what we get to build. We bought the plot of land and now we get to build the house. Yeah. And it was day 1. And I made it a must because I had 2 choices in front of me. I could move out of our house, the house my kids were growing up in, move into something that I could afford on my retail job salary, scrape by and live paycheck to paycheck, or I can get my shit together and figure out, okay, we've talked about this in a different episode.
Yeah.
This is how much money I make.
Yep.
This is how much money I need. Yep. Instead of focusing on how to bring my life down here.
Amen.
I'm going to figure out how to bring my money up here. Ladies, I had no idea how much my ex-husband and my marriage was holding me back from what I was capable of in my career.
Can you say that again?
Yes. Because as soon as I made the decision, it is a must. This is how much money I need to make every month for my kids' life to be impacted minimally and for us to continue to live. in the way that we are now. I went on to do national marketing for LG. I went on to do national marketing for Uber. I went on to do business development for Fortune 500 companies. I went on to be extremely successful in my career by setting goals and making it a must. And then I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this, and I started over again.
Yeah. But I think it's okay if I ask you this to share it. And if it's not, I can take it out. But I mean it to brag on you. Because I think a lot of single moms go, but you don't know, I don't have a college degree. I can't do that. Did you have a college degree to accomplish all those things?
I got my college degree 2 years ago after I left my corporate career.
It's amazing.
I had nothing but a high school education.
Didn't limit you. Because you made it not be a limitation.
I said, what am I really good at? We're all really good at something. And whatever it is you're really good at, instead of focusing on, this is strength, like Strength Finders, instead of focusing on focusing your energy on trying to get good at all the things, you just have to accept that there are some things that you're going to be really good at and some things that are always going to be a struggle and take work. And so I say, so if you focus your energy on taking the things you're innately good at and make yourself great at them, instead of focusing your energy to fill all the buckets, you go further. And so I said, what am I really good at? Well, I'm really good at talking to people, and I'm really good at critical thinking, problem solving. And so I became excellent at those things, and I made myself undeniable. I created a presence, and I used that presence to carry me through my career. Little secret, every single job I achieved after my divorce, every promotion I got, every new job I got, I was not qualified for a single one of them on the day of hire.
Oh, as according to them, according to whatever that.
So based on that, I was unqualified, but I did a damn good job at convincing them I was. And my thought process was like, listen, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do this on the fly, and I'm going to be the best there is. And you guys, make yourself undeniable by being the best at whatever it is you're doing.
So how do we flip, talking about ways we can flip the weight of single motherhood into not a weight that prevents us from moving forward, but instead we flip that and use it as a weight that makes us stronger to move forward. We've talked about, what was the first thing that we talked about? What did I call it?
So being grateful for your struggle.
Embracing the suck.
Embracing
the suck and pushing yourself. What's the second thing? I have an idea. I think one of the second things we can do is to realize that we have to stretch ourselves, what you're talking about, instead of feeling, I always say our so-called limitations are only limiting if we allow them to be. So how about number 2 being push past a limitation by taking drastic action?
I mean, you've said it before. You've said we're done dreaming small. Dream big. Dream so big that it makes you uncomfortable.
Yes. Instead of going, well, and I'm not knocking this because, I definitely have thought about it and I have gotten a lot of support from my family. But I understand it's kind of the difference between going, okay, I'm going to move back in with my family. There's a time that we can do that. But then we have to eventually be independent and on our own for our kids. So I think it's the difference between moving backwards in life or making a decision to say, no, I'm going to move forward. Yes, we can go backwards and we can move in with our family and we can get help. We can do that for a time, but we cannot stay there.
Yeah, complacency is dangerous.
What we have to do, I talked to a single mom that she's like, I really want to do this. I really want to get in Metamorphosis, your coaching program. I want to join Brave Single Moms VIP. I want to get that program. I want to set my goals. I want to re-envision my life. And she goes, I've been living with my mom and I need to get out of it. I was like, well, how long has this been going on? 10 years. And I thought, okay, well, I get you. She's like, I just want to be able to decorate my own house with my own thing, Christmas decorations. I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. So, but she couldn't push back the limitation of, but here's what I have monthly. But But you have to, in my opinion,
big for me.
Okay, I know, in my opinion, call me crazy, but I want to push back. I don't want to see what I have monthly and make decisions on what that is. I want to say what do I want to do monthly, and figure out a way to make the income to do that. Switch it positive. So what would we call that? Pushing past
past your limitations.
Take drastic action
and remove yourself from the scarcity mindset. We did an episode on scarcity. I highly recommend watching it. And I'll touch on a little bit of that when I say what I'm going to say here. And that is, there is a time for looking at your finances and figuring out this chunk of money goes to this and this chunk of money goes to that, and how much 100%. Goes to savings. And there's a time for that. And there's a time for faith and trust. And when you are struggling to make ends meet with the money that you have, trying to break down your finances to the minute level can sometimes be the biggest level of stress that you have. And one thing I have learned to be true, and as woo-woo as it may sound, as I'm going to say it, when you are on the right path, when you're doing the things that you need to do to grow into the best version of yourself, to be in service to the other people around you, including your children, to take care of yourself, and you are showing up for you and your life and your kids every day, the money will always be there.
It will.
And this has never ceased to amaze me in my 11 years of single motherhood, where I'm like, if I look too closely at this, the math isn't mathing. If I look too closely at this, I don't really know how I'm going to pay rent this month. But every single month, every single time I have needed the money, it has been there. And it's sometimes it's at the buzzer. And sometimes it's well before, and sometimes I have a cushion, but money flows. And if we're going to let it come in, we have to be willing to invest it out. We can't, when we hold on to it because we're so scared that ends aren't going to meet next month or the month after, we dam it up. We dam the flow.
Yeah, we do. So ways to overcome the weight of single motherhood and instead use it to get stronger. I think we've talked about embracing the suck. Pushing past limitations by taking drastic actions of faith, believing that you can do incredible things to make sure that you will. And I think a third thing to do is to really be concerned about the words that are coming out of your mouth.
The way you speak matters.
The way you speak matters. So if all you want to talk about right now in the stage of life you're in is what the other person did, and that's every phone call you make to your friends and every phone call you make to your mom, your dad. And if that is all that you are talking about in your brain, then that's all the negativity that will happen. Instead, I want you to be a prisoner of hope, an absolute prisoner of hope. Have I told you the story of when I was driving a Lincoln Navigator?
Tell me.
Okay. It was actually my beat up Honda Odyssey minivan that was paid for. And that when I got divorced, we paid cash for that. And I got the car in the divorce. So I thought, well, I'm just going to drive that thing to the ground, right? Because that's not a car payment. Sweet. But it was starting to break down. It had like 150,000, almost 200,000 miles on it. And it probably would have gone longer, but I had 3 kids in car seats on it and it was disgusting. I worked on the radio and the radio in my car didn't even work. That's how messed up it was. And I was driving that thing. You tried to show up for a date in a beat up Honda Odyssey minivan. Okay. This is why I Ubered to most dates. And I was just started getting in the car and the kids would complain, Mom, I really wish we had a radio. I really wish air conditioning worked. I was like, yeah, me too. I was like, isn't this Lincoln Navigator so nice? And I was like, isn't this so beautiful? Oh my God, I love these cooled seats on hot summer days and the heated and this sound system. And the kids started believing it with me. And very quickly that thing died. And very quickly, I actually ended up having the money to buy a really nice used Mercedes. Okay, it wasn't the brand new Lincoln Navigator, but I had manifested and believed that something better, because it felt a lot better not to bitch and moan about that disgusting car every time I got in it, because how would that would just ruin my day every day. Get in that car and be
you
like,
give it
oh
so
my
much
God.
power over you when you do that.
Instead, I was a prisoner of hope, and I was like, look at how awesome this is. This is an incredible car. And then we got a really nice car. So I just want you to think about that with your single mom life. I want you to manifest the future that you want by being very careful about the words that you say out loud. Change the words. Don't allow yourself to constantly complain. Stop being a complainer. And I know you have 1,000 things you can complain about, and they're all relevant and valid. I want to validate you, but does it do any good?
Yeah. Is it changing anything?
No.
Or is it just making you feel worse?
And does it make other people look at you like a victim? Do you really want other people to be like, when you call them and they see your number on their phone, be like, oh God, she's going to call and complain about her ex again?
No.
I think I was that single mom.
I definitely was for a minute. Yeah.
And then I had to learn, oh, these friends don't want to hang out with me anymore because I'm just like constant.
It gets exhausting. We suck the energy out of them. It takes a lot of energy. These people love us and they want to show up for us, but you can only show up for somebody that's just to an extent before they feel so drained by that there's a lot of take and not a lot of give. Yeah. And friendship is a two-way street. It's give and take. Family is a two-way street. Love is a two-way street. And so when we're taking and taking without even realizing we are, just from our energy, just from our negativity, just from focusing on all of the things that we don't have control over, and versus all of the things we have to be grateful for, we drain them of that energy. Think of like your marriage, right? Or your relationship. How drained energetically were you? And it's different because, maybe you're not a toxic friend, or maybe you're not an abusive friend, or maybe whatever the situation. It's different, but that feeling is the same of just, I just want peace. I don't have the energy for that right now. Right. And so when we are positive, when we don't allow ourselves to be a victim, when instead of being like, my air conditioner was out all summer. Did I tell you that?
Yes.
All summer. It's triple digit summer. All summer long, I had no air. I got a new car now. I just got a new car, and I manifested the heck out of that.
Yeah, you did.
No car payment either. But all summer I had no air conditioning. And when the kids would get in the car with him, oh my God, it's so hot in here. I'm like, but think about all the money we're saving on gas. Or
always
don't you love the wind in your hair?
Always spin it.
It just, it doesn't change anything to be mad that we didn't have air conditioner.
Yeah.
All it does is bring our attention to the fact that we don't have air conditioner and give us something to feel mopey about.
I like that.
It's silly.
So I think the third thing we've got, embrace the suck. We have take drastic action so you can push through limitations. I think the third thing would be to refuse to complain.
Yeah.
Absolutely refuse to complain. And you'll make mistakes and you'll go there, and then you just need a replacement thought. I'd be like, nope.
Yeah. We're not going there. I call it the thought train.
The thought train. Yeah. I bind things. I don't know what that is. My grandma used to do that. She'd be like, I bind that thought in the name of Jesus. I don't know that. Nowhere is that in the Bible, binding thoughts. I truly think she absolutely made it up, but it works. So I'm like, I'm just like, I feel like I'm binding it in like a bunch of tape and like throwing that thought away.
No, we're not doing that. So what I'll do is I literally will envision the train. And so it's like the complaint enters my mind. And so I learned this technique in a book, and it's called The Untethered Soul. If you've never read it, great book. And so easy read. The thought enters your body, your mind. Yeah. And when it enters your mind, energy is released into you, right? Mm-hmm. So when it hits you and it's negativity, we've just allowed this negative energy to take over our whole body, and that thought spirals into another one, into another one, into another one. And before you know it, you're on a train of negative thought. You're on a train of negative feeling. And when you get too far down that thought train, when you get too far down those tracks, the only thing that's taking you off is going to sleep. And so that's reinforcing the depression. However, if instead, when that thought hits you, you have this level of awareness. Awareness is your superpower. You have this level of awareness to notice that thought. Yeah. And instead, literally, I will imagine it moving through me like a bullet. The bullet doesn't get to stay in me. It goes right through me. And then I will envision myself jumping off the train. Nope, not today. We're not going on this train ride.
What? That's fantastic.
And then I'll choose something different. And it works. I know it sounds silly, but it works for me like so powerfully that I almost don't even remember anything else that book was about. Because I took
you just
that
envision,
so much.
You're like, things go negative and you imagine those are this negative, this is like down a path that leads you nowhere.
Yeah.
And so you vision yourself jumping off the train.
Yeah, 100%. Because you stay on that train, you guys, it's taking you to a bad neighborhood. And you should.
And then you keep like adding cars to it.
And it's heavy and it's bad.
Oh my God, that's
you just
so good.
Get off the train. And you're like, not today. We're not going on that train today. And I find it helps if you make things funny. I like humor. I'm a self-proclaimed funny person. And making things funny, it helps. And so that's where, if you find yourself complaining, you could almost do it in a sarcastic way, like we're talking about. Like, isn't this Lincoln Navigator so nice? Right? Like, you obviously know it's not. You're obviously not trying to make up, but you're turning it funny. And isn't laughing about it a lot better than being miserable about it? I think so.
I think that's wonderful. So any other ways so far of how do we switch the weight of responsibility, and let's just call it trauma, of becoming a single mom into a weight that makes us stronger? Instead of carrying it, we flip that bitch and we do some curls with it and make us stronger. We've talked about. So yes, you have another way. Go for it.
Dopamine is your friend when you get it the right way. So we've talked about this. This is part of our Brave Single Moms Metamorphosis online course.
Yes, it is.
Owning the first hour of your day. So whatever you can do to get that hit of dopamine makes everything else in the world feel lighter and doable. And so my recommendation for this is going to be, give yourself and your kids something to be proud of. When you carry pride, it releases. When you're proud of yourself or of something you've done, the amount of dopamine that is released into your body far surpasses almost any other way you can get dopamine. So give yourself something to be proud of. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's because you knitted a hat. Whatever it is, give yourself something to set a goal and achieve it. Make a to-do list of big and small things. Make my bed, go grocery shopping, take the garbage out, whatever it is. Big, small things, and then big things, and start checking them off. Give yourself something to be proud of. And what I find is give your kids something to be proud of. Bring them. Kids are capable of so much more than people give them credit for. And there is a way to allow them to be a part of the team and not put too much onto their shoulders.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of the team. They see how hard it is for you. You can't hide that from them. They see you struggling. You can't hide that from them. And they blame themselves for it. They blame themselves for your struggle in carrying this weight of single motherhood around because they're the ones that made you a mom. And they're not going to tell you that outwardly, but they do. I am a child of a single mom. I know a lot of children of single moms. And this is the one thing that they universally say, children of single moms, is my mom struggled because of me, because she did her best, but it was because of me, because she was a single mom because of me. If it wasn't for me, then she would have. So give them something to be proud of too. Show them that you're working together as a team and you're accomplishing goals, and celebrate those goals with so much enthusiasm and joy that they realize, like, okay, the hard has reward, and the reward is so good that the good means I'm not a burden.
Oh God, we don't want them to feel that way.
We don't want them.
It's easy for them to feel it. I mean, even if it's nothing, they make it up in their minds and they see it, and then kids are just, I got an idea on how we can do that. Yeah. Maybe you're thinking that too, but how? How do I give my kids something to be proud of with our life? How do we do that? Well, I don't know when you're watching or listening to this episode, but it's set to air kind of in between Thanksgiving and New Year's, Thanksgiving week. So, what if, and I'll give you an idea if you're not listening to this during the holidays, but what if any time of year you picked a way to serve together as a family? And if you're like, hey, I know this one family that's like, we've got it kind of, we're a little, we're not like doing great right now, but we're okay. But there's always somebody else that you can help. So what if it's just something where you can go like, hey kids, we're going to go to Target and we're going to pick one of those little angel tree things. And we're going to go pick out a couple gifts for this kid for Christmas. How proud would they feel?
Yeah. And it's an event, right? It's not like it's this thing, they're going to pick the angel tree. Can I write the name, Mom? And then can I pick the present, Mom?
Kids
and they want to be a part of it.
They get that.
And it gets to be a really cool thing. And the bigger deal you make of it, the bigger deal they'll feel it is.
Yeah. Look what we got to do. Yeah. Look what we did as a family. Look what you did. You did a great job picking out that present. Even if it's just, I used to send my kids into Target, each had a $5 bill for Christmas. Sorry. So I lost my job right before Christmas. And I was like, okay, well, like, find stuff, go in, and they've got the dollar aisle and they've got whatever. And everybody like do a little gift exchange. One kid got one kid, and we like drew hats between mom and the 3 kids. And they had so much fun finding a way to pick a gift with $5. They had so much fun at that we still do that every year for Christmas. And it's like our $5 Target run. And it's like, they will not let that happen.
Yeah.
Because it's something fun to do. I got off track, but
it's a great point because
they were proud of it.
They're proud of it, and it makes them not feel like you're living in this life of scarcity and bills can't be paid and things can't be done and we're struggling because of me. It makes them feel like, I mean, we have I got to go do this thing. As long as you, with the caveat, you're not like, I'm sorry, it's only $5. No, this is $5 whole.
Look at this. Yeah. And you can just spend it on whatever you want.
And something to be excited about.
It's so fun. And I would stand with a cup of coffee by that cashier. I'd pick a cashier at Target and I would be like, hey, so my little kids are going to come through there and they're going to buy something and it's going to be a secret. And I gave her an extra $5. And I was like, if they're a little bit over, here's a little bit extra. And that they would get into it too.
Yes.
And they would be like, oh, cool, I got it. And then I'm like, I'm going to be right here. But they're good kids. Like, I promise, like, they're not going to act squirrely in your line. So it was so fun.
Yeah.
Something that brings joy to everybody. Maybe if it's even find them something to be proud of. Here's another thing you could do. I want you to go get a family photo taken. It doesn't, right? Because I went years without sending Christmas cards because I felt like there was something missing from our family. It was just a mom and kids. I want you to celebrate it. I want you, if it's just a friend you ask or you hire a photographer to do it, it's pretty affordable. You can find them, and then to put it up on the wall. And so when they walk into their home, just like their other friends have family photos on the wall and you send out a family Christmas card that's on the fridge, your kids have that too. It's not that you don't have, I thought for some reason I'd have to wait until I got married again to take a family photo. Take the freaking family photo and blow it up and put it on the wall.
I'll be so proud of it.
Yeah. And be like, give your kids a family to be proud of.
We do our picture in pajamas and it's a whole production to go pick out our pajamas. They just go to Old Navy and get because, we're not trying to spend $80 on a pair of pajamas, but I would say the other thing, here's another idea.
Yeah.
Especially if things are really hard right now. And I know for a lot of us, things are really hard now. And I know that it feels like the house of cards is crumbling and it's going to bury you. But if you've taken anything from listening to our content, girl, it's not going to bury you. It's just scary when things fall. But it's not going to bury you. And so when things are hard and there's a struggle, take that stress and ask yourself what the action you're taking is to move through that stress. And then make no mistake, your kids see your stress.
Yeah.
And then they probably hear you talking, so they probably have some idea of what that stress is about. So, I'll give you an example. When I had to move recently, this summer I had to move. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to afford it. And it all worked out, but I was definitely stressed for 4 months trying to figure that out. I felt like I was going to throw up every day. I was so stressed. My kids could see I was stressed. They know exactly why I was stressed. And instead of I don't know how I'm going to afford it. We can't afford this. We need at least 3 bedrooms because you and Owen can't share a room, because that's where the burden comes in. Oh no, if it wasn't for us, mom could just get a 1 bedroom. This wouldn't be a thing. Oh no. Right. Yeah. And so we need this. I made it. I was like, okay, no matter how I felt on the inside, on the outside, the things I said is, we're going to find the best house. And I would come here every week and we'd be like, I'm going to find the best house. Yes. And it's going to have, and I would talk about all the things it's going to have. I would do this with my kids. You guys, when we find a house, what is our yard going to look like? You guys, when we find a house, oh my gosh. And I would never go through all of the pieces of it that were like, oh, but what ifs? And this could happen. No. When we accomplish, and I always spoke about it in we, because one thing I've told my kids for the last 11 years, we are a team. Your voice at this table matters to me, and it matters as much as my voice. I'm the captain, but you are my teammates. You are my side. You guys are, it is us. And so I always spoke about it in we, when we find a house, when we do this. And then they're teenagers. They want to, I said, go on Zillow, look at houses. If you see any that you like, shoot them my way. And then we would look at these, like, you guys, just crazy expensive. We all do fun. It. Yeah. Here's the deal. We found a house. Everything was going to work out. Right? At the end of the day, we weren't going to be homeless. We could stress out about it, but at the end of the day, we weren't going to be homeless. We were going to find something, and we did. And my kids got to feel like part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
We want the best for you. That's why we both have committed our lives to helping brave single moms like you. And I think about girl that Sarah helped me through. It's almost a year ago, right before Christmas, when I got fired.
I'll never forget the day she called me when she got fired.
From a radio. Yeah. You guys, from my syndicated radio.
It goes so well with this episode.
It really does.
Because Amanda called me to tell me I have a meeting with my bosses. I think I'm going to get fired.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. What did I say? I said, good.
Is this what you wanted?
She goes, I'm, what? I think I'm going to get fired. I'm like, that's great. You hate that job. And she's like, I do hate that job. I was like, so what are you stressed out about? I was like, you're winning either way. Either you go in that meeting and you're completely wrong and you still have a job and you still got some time to lay your ducks in a row. Or you go in that meeting and you get fired and you get to jump in both feet to the
what I really want to
purpose, mission, and job of your dreams. And she was like, oh, I never thought of it like that. So no matter what happens in there, I win. I'm like, 100% you win.
Yep. I remember that. And then look what we created in a year.
You guys,
look what we created, because I got fired as a single mom right before Christmas. And in a year, instead of allowing that to where's our weight and allowing that to just weight me down and feel like I was absolutely ruined. Now, in 11 months, I started my own business. We launched our podcast. We created Metamorphosis, a single mom coaching program, a Brave Single Moms VIP online community, and I got married. Holy crap. I just put all that together.
Here's the thing. She's doing Bicycle Curls like a pro with this now.
I know.
Here's the thing, you guys.
Crazy.
Did you just hear that list of what we've created in this last year? Holy crap. In a year, all of that has happened. She didn't go to college first. She didn't. All we did was decide we were going to do this. Internet is an amazing thing. If there's something you want to do,
learn how to do it.
Learn how to do it.
That's what I was like. I just became an absolute sponge for learning everything. I remember you're sitting at my kitchen table, you're like, do you know what you created? I was like, I've been trying.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You just use the energy instead of succumbing to negativity. Use the energy of change to propel you forward and have you become a force of nature. It is possible, and all it takes, you've got the energy. You can let it be a whole big negative, stinking, what do they call it, a dumpster fire. Or you'd be like, I'm going to take that energy and use that fire to become hot, right?
And here it is, guys. If you don't know how to direct that energy, or that is what we built here.
Let us help you.
That is what we built here. We are taking brave single moms just like you, who hear what we are saying, who this resonates with, who say, yes, I do want more. Yes, I do want to look back at my life in 10 years and be so blown away and proud of myself and the what I got to build from the ground up, just me and my kids.
Yeah.
I just don't actually really know how. And just wondering how to do it is we talk to brave single moms all the time. And just even trying to figure out how to do that is so overwhelming that I don't do anything. And then they get paralyzed with it.
It breaks my heart.
So here's the deal. That is literally what we created here, to take you from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, step 4, to hold your hand, to guide you, to mentor you, to teach you. We have put all of these skills, all of these modules, and these
cautionary tale lessons,
yes. Literally all in one place. Yeah. Okay, this like arsenal of tools all in one place. Then formatted it in a way that's going to take you through it step by step. Then we gave you a community of people who get it, who are like-minded, solution-minded, and excited to be there with you, crushing their own goals.
Yeah.
You are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So do you want to surround yourself with other people who are building their lives and crushing their goals? Or do you want to surround yourself with all of the people who are looking at you like you're a damn victim?
Oh God,
because you're not a victim.
No, so you're not.
We're just going to cut that narrative now. You're not a victim. You are the hero. You are the main character. Crush it.
Let us know if we can help you. Put a little link in the description and you can click on that and schedule time and be like, I want in, guys, in 12 weeks. We will change your life and you will be well on the way to flipping that weight into something that makes you stronger and better and the mom that your kids will brag about. We love you.
We love you. So proud of you.